Hi there. My name is Kululwa Muthwa and welcome to Property Market Moves. Today I am sitting with Ms. Zinhle Mpungose. Good morning.
Morning, Kululwa. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Totally awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming through.
Thanks.
We are at the end of August.
Yeah.
Women's Month. So we're going to talk about what that was like a bit later.
All right.
So as we jump into it, who is Zinhle?
I always call myself an empath.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I lead genuinely from my heart, as I find that I absorb people's feelings. And my best job is being a coach.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. You and me are the same. Like totally.
I'm a certified children's life coach. And I chose that simply because when I was coaching executives, which I'm a certified coach for, so I'm certified as strategy coach, which is business related, but also executive transitions. But I found the interesting golden thread amongst all three, whether it's executive transitioning, which is moving from one role to the next, or coaching businesses on strategy.
Yeah.
And childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need to be certified as a children's life coach, because by the time you get to someone who's 45,
it's already formed. And
listen, the neural pathways of I'm not good enough, I'm not best. A person walks into a room, they've got so many accolades behind them as a woman, but they can still hear their grandmother telling them to keep quiet and rewarding them for their silence.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, okay, so maybe I should be empowering the young people before the trauma settles, so they can live their best lives.
Yeah. Oh, that's a conversation on its own, right? That is a conversation on its own, but it's such a reality, I think, for all of us, for all of us, or at least let me say for most of us, in case, someone listening is like, that's not my story. that's not my story. Okay. Yeah. And then how did you get into property?
Absolutely accidental.
Yeah.
It was almost like I'm imagining, okay, I love stories and children's stories. So I'm thinking of this, I can see the story in my head, how this girl falls into this long hole. But anyway, because I've forgotten the name of that story.
Yeah.
Accidentally, I was working with leaders in NHBRC in 2007, helping them establish their leadership competency framework.
Okay.
So from a professional background, I have a master's in HR and I specialize in org design, organizational culture, and organizational development. So whilst working there, interviewing various leaders, I came across this magnificent initiative by the Ministry of Human Settlements at the time, which was about, for me, it was like a three-pronged approach, right? So they had this fund that was intended to, as you know, human settlements is about ensuring that as South Africans were previously dispossessed of our land, we have an opportunity to have decent housing.
Yeah.
Because when you think of the mining that happened, the migrant workers ended up living in shacks. I've spent a life, or not life, whole life, but I have spent moments in a shack in my life as well, right? So I understood the dignity that comes with not having a home.
Yeah.
And when I came across this initiative, that there was a fund that Minister Sisulu at the time, Lindiwe, had set aside to build houses, but it was meant to be a part of a learnership program, which is, I think it was called community housing building. It was an NQF level 2.
Sure.
So it wasn't complex, very basic, right? Bricklaying, tiling, roofing, that simple.
Okay.
And it intended to employ youth from rural areas who are unemployed, but build houses in those areas. So you get three things. It's employment opportunity, it's decent housing, And it's a skill that an individual can use into perpetuity. So I came across this program, and it was flagshipped in Northwest. So we went to Northwest. It looked really amazing. And so for me, it was like, wow, KZN has double-fold the number of people who are in the same predicament as the guys in Northwest. So surely this can be applied in the same place.
Sure.
And there was in my early 20s. Great
Fired
idea.
up.
Man, I've got this. I've got a solution. Come on, everybody. There's a fund. Number one. Yes. Money's available.
Yes.
And NHBRC have told me that if I put together the right thing, obviously it was adults talking to a child. No, I think of it. But it was really a great thing. So my involvement was then, okay, first of all, identify a piece of land. Who owns land? Chiefs. Okay, I can find chiefs, right? I went to a part of Northern KZN because already I was doing some NGO work there, and I had really identified the plight of poverty.
Yeah.
And one of the things for me that greatly concerned me with poverty in that particular environment was the relationship between young women and older men and HIV. So you're in a village where there are no job opportunities. The only thing in that village was a hospital and a school that my mom used to teach in the 70s. So those who know, they will know where that is.
Yeah.
Like it's so, if the only thing that's there is a municipal office structure, spa,
sure,
a hospital, and a school. If you're not a teacher, you're not a nurse, you're not a cashier, what are the chances of you having a decent life? So that was one area for me that already had tugged at my heart, where I was already doing work. So I thought, right, I can go to the chiefs. I'm already doing work there. So I approached the chiefs and the councillors. We got together. Like, it sounded like good. Okay, guys, there's a fund. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, who else do you need in terms of stakeholders? Right, we need the KZN human settlements. We also need, there was the NYDA at the time.
Yes.
It's many moons ago. Like, I'm talking about now, at this time, it was now 2009, right? Even though I came across this in 2007, 2009, approach the actual department, get all the stakeholders together and to say, right, there is this great possibility. We can build 100 houses, get 100 unemployed youth. They will get a skill because it is a SAQA accredited learnership program, and they get a stipend. It's not too much, but 2,500 Rand is when you have nothing.
Absolutely.
And your parents are selling sweets at the corner of the street of nothingness. 2,500 Rand goes a long way. So for me, that is how I walked into the space of property development but I wasn't walking in as a property developer. I was walking in as, I think from not an anthropologist because I didn't have the funds, but I was working to solve a societal problem, but excited with people are going to have homes, right? And youth are going to have skills and they will be employed. So that is how I came across property development as a way to contribute towards various social ills, as I'd mentioned, with young women being unemployed and having sugar daddies who gave them something that wasn't so sweet.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah. And those realities, unfortunately, are still today's realities. Yes, there have been many, strides over the years, but those are still some of the realities. And it becomes even more important then for women to be economically viable, right? So that they don't need. So what challenges have you encountered in your journey, whether in property or in your career growth generally? And how did you overcome them, I think, more importantly?
So because I started at a young age and I'm reminded of another business where I got sued out of South Africa.
Hey?
Yes.
Wow.
Literally had to live in a different country in order to continue with my passion. So, entrepreneurs generally are people who have a vision that is beyond what you see now.
Yeah.
And the challenges that I've come across, it wasn't so much, yes, it was gender, but also for me, it was around, who are you? Ubani. Because with this example of this particular multi-million rand particular project, after gathering all the different stakeholders, then it was like, who is this? Yes, I'm glad you even asked you, Ubani Manjelona. But I'm the one who called all of you individually. Now, when you're all together, who are you? And as an entrepreneur and a young woman most of the time, and women, because we are maternal, we want to take care of everybody. Worse if you're a firstborn, right?
Yeah.
Because firstborns apparently do not get a childhood, they get an internship into parenthood.
Oh my goodness. Do not get me started. You're going to send me to therapy right now.
You are parenting everybody.
You're going to send me to therapy right now.
Yeah. So you walk in there thinking you're about to save the world. So for me, the challenges came from not, first of all, having secured myself in, when the question is asked, who are you?
Yeah.
From an authority perspective. The ones who were in the room either had a position, a business, a backing,
a surname.
Well, I see again, my surname and I happen to be one.
Yeah.
All right. But from who are you?
Yeah.
Now, when you walk into a room as an entrepreneur and the only thing you have is that you want to give the world a light bulb. Has it worked before? No. So who are you that you should come and tell other scientists that you've discovered light?
Yeah.
So for me, it was beyond just being a young woman, but not having the authority to support my position.
Sure.
Not having the right sponsor, because life is about sponsors. The sponsors who speak in the room when you are not in the room, who recognize your capabilities, even if you do not have a surname, like you're saying, you do not have a title, you do not have a particular position.
Yeah.
But when they say, who are you? You are able to present it with authority. So for me, the challenge came with, I actually didn't belong in the room anymore.
Sure.
Because I didn't have an actual seat.
Sure.
The funds are not mine. They belong to the state. The stakeholders required to make this a reality, they all belong somewhere. So they actually have a valid ticket to enter Ellis Park. So I might have created the opportunity for the box and the blacks to play.
Yeah.
But without a ticket, the security guard at the gate is going to ask, who are you? So for me, the teaching and the learning there was before creating an opportunity for others.
Yeah.
Secure your identity, secure your authority, and ensure that you have, whether from an agreements, and any business is a space of agreements, right? Back in the days, it was bartering, gentlemen's agreements. But it didn't say gentlewomen, gentlemen's agreements. So if you're going to be in the court, you are there because your husband is there.
Sure.
Right? In the knitting club, there's no gentleman's agreement. There's no place. So from contract's perspective, do you have a legal document or do you have a ticket to enter the game, the arena? So for me, that challenge was not having the correct ticket to be in the arena, even though I had created the opportunity to have this discussion.
Yeah.
Right? So I find that as an entrepreneur, we get excited by the visions we dream and we start running. But any relationship does require boundaries and rules of engagement. And without proper agreements, when you are asked, who are you? Without the right agreements, without the right authority, you don't have the correct ticket into the arena. And that's basically what cost me my first experience in property development, not having the right ticket. And as I said, it wasn't just about women, even though at the time, now we are looking at Jesus, to use the word, but this is 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Whether from a property charter, from other charters, from a Black economic empowerment perspective, there was still a lot of gaps and gray areas, right? So not having the right documentation, not having the right agreements, not having the right sponsors was a cost. And it wasn't only gender related, although at the time the room was full of men. And when men are all together and they are boisterous together, it becomes a joke. And the joke, I remember in one meeting, I felt totally small.
Sure.
I called you to my party, but you are now asking me, who are you? And because you're all aligned in the same energy as men, oh, well, that's it. Because you don't have a rightful seat, please excuse us from our official meeting.
Sure. My goodness. Oh, that's quite a lot. And I think what I love, though, is as you narrated that experience, you also looked at how you could have approached, that differently, and more importantly, the lessons, right, that you took out of that experience, as disempowering as it may have been, but looking at what you would do now if you would go back as that young lady, same spark, same opportunity, but probably just ensuring that, she covers herself with a lot more teeth to present this opportunity, and love the idea of sponsors, because if you had a sponsor or the right sponsor, then they'd be able to stand right on that podium and answer to that question, who are you?
Who are you? Yeah.
Because even though you may not have the credentials that they are looking for in the room, but your sponsor, being respected, would be in a position to actually, set them straight, rather. Yeah. Did that project happen?
The thing is, with hijacking ideas, without the conceptual, it's almost like running away with the child without the one who birthed it.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to come out of that. Right?
Yeah.
So I can say that at the time, it eventually fizzled out. Right? But I have been seeing, Northwest has got something to tell. I know in 2014, they still had about 40 learners and houses. So they've been going.
Yeah.
KZN, I noticed that there was an advert for 2,000.
Yeah.
Or is it 1,000? Remember, I started with 100. So I guess they've had a lot to catch up. So they are doing the very same project. It's finally found life.
Okay.
Many years later, I know that they are now advertising to have the very same learnership.
Okay.
So it will happen. It's just that it's taken much longer. And you mentioned about my younger self.
Yeah.
What would I have done differently? And this applies across the board. It's the first thing is secure my legal position from day one. Because remember, the who are you asks about your authoritative representation, or why are you here?
Yeah.
Who are you? Yeah. The who are you is it's a packed question. So for me, the first thing for any business person is, who are you is answered by your legal contracts and MOUs.
Sure.
That before you start running with your great ideas, get into agreements with those stakeholders. Because remember, all these stakeholders we approach one by one.
Yeah.
And we see it with Makati, with Vodacom, intellectual property. And so it's across fields, right? That before you present your idea and concept, really secure it from a legal perspective. Let's not run away from the lawyers. They are not the big bad wolves. They are there for a reason, right? The second thing is identify a sponsor.
Yeah.
Identify someone with authority, institutional authority, who believes in your vision as well as who can champion your idea, so that when that question comes out in terms of who are you, they're able to speak on your behalf. And then the third thing is everything that you do is documented as the originator of, because this still continues to happen, right? It's not only limited to the construction sector.
Yeah.
You can look anywhere, you know, where you've got brilliant scientists who've come up with great things. I mean, America is suddenly popping up with so many Black history, women related stories about the things that they did. But because time and the era which they were in did not accommodate them. I mean, even right now in South Africa, we still talk about the Christian Barnard's first heart transplant. Was it him? Was it his assistant? Assistant was Black. Do we know? Right. So the important thing for me is when I look back and say to my younger self, was that yes, my vision was valid. Yeah. My expectations were sound and my passion was exactly where it was in the right place, which is ensuring that poor people or young people like me
are employed. They're skilled. And they have a home.
A home. Do you know how much dignity a home gives a person? Just to have a home.
Yeah.
Not a shack.
Yeah.
Not jondolo or something that is made out of mud. And that is what the property sector provides. It gives three things in one, especially like the program that we are on now.
Yeah.
The women, first time women. And I know it's like, okay, so you're in the first time women program.
2025.
And you said you stepped into the ring in 2008, 7. Well, sometimes time is not an issue.
Yeah.
The right thing would come at the right time because you still have the right intention. So that's why I would say, no, the vision was in the right place.
Yes.
It was just not having the right things in place that didn't allow me in the arena at the time. So yeah.
And challenges continue to persist, right, in that journey. So even when you started a journey years and years back, and you find yourself a couple of years later getting into some mentorship program for aspiring women developers. And yes, if the question is, so what are the support systems that we believe are important to actually spur, women developers along? And I know that there are challenges, right across the property sector and across industries, like you said. But what support systems are you hoping to get from a mentorship program like this one to make that journey going forward different to what you've experienced so far?
So you know what, with mentorship, it's always assumed that, okay, it's simplified. Like, okay, a mentor is someone who has the technical competence more than you, blah, blah. But for me, it's again, the mentorship element isn't just about technical competence, but it's also relational because we work with stakeholders, as I mentioned in my previous experience. So the mentorship in this particular journey provides me not only with the technical know-how, but also the aptitude to navigate landmines that are called stakeholder relationship.
Yeah.
The political agendas that are not written anywhere, right? So when you have a mentor who has navigated the landscape, they would know where the landmines are that you don't know. And even from a strategic perspective, how to strategically position your vision, yourself, and how to walk in the room and command the respect that you deserve. So it's more than just that it's someone who is more experienced in a technical element. There's also those nuances, the political dynamics, the relationship management, the raising of capital, the strategically positioning your paper or whatever your vision. And for me, this is what SAIBPP Women's Forum is doing right now, to acknowledge and recognize that, you know what, as women, automatically, yes, we are project managers, we are managing our homes.
Yes.
We are digital supervisors, managing the digital things at home. We are budget managers because we do manage. So we've got all those things already inside of us. But when you put us in an environment that is predominantly male dominated, right? So what's the SAIBPP program for me, from a mentorship perspective, it's offering the stuff that is not in the textbooks. So I don't have to take the stripes and the beatings that the other women have already taken. And mine is to sit and learn.
Sure.
Right. Yes, it may be 16 years later, but hey, who said that time is a definitive thing?
I mean,
exactly.
Doesn't expire. An opportunity to learn.
Yep.
Does not expire. Yeah.
And the other thing that also I on the two elements are still on mentorship.
Yeah.
The legal elements. As I said, like most of us people, when you are thinking of a contract, we don't want to pay the lawyers because they look like vampires.
Or you just don't want to pay the money because you are a startup and you're thinking, I don't have money to pay lawyers. I don't have money to pay. I'll pay those that I must absolutely pay, even them, because you probably think that you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But then further down the line, you realize that there are landmines that they would have foreseen and would have helped you to navigate, those landmines and pitfalls.
Yeah. So the mentor will have a network of other women or men who are for women.
Sure.
Right. So the mentorship program also can say, we do know that some of the bigger challenges can be resolved through legal thinking.
Yeah.
And through that mentorship program, it can build in just basic elements of how to put together a basic non-disclosure or MOU, like the basics like that. But it's through those networks, because the networks that your mentor will introduce you to, they understand what the mentor is building and they can take you under their wing and offer you. And before you know it, voila, you've got a support system, which is what I didn't have. And the mentorship program affords you that mentorship system or support system that is priceless. There's just no amount of value that you can attach to that. And that's why for me, I say that with this particular program, it really cuts a lot of pain for new property developers who are women, because we climb on shoulders of giants who've already taken the stripes. They know what it's been like. And all we need to do is just sit in, learn and submit.
And I think what's also amazing, when you have, and I know that you have a land parcel that you've wanted to develop. So now, instead of sitting on your own and figuring out, firstly, if the idea that I have for this land is actually sound, you have now this group of people that you can use as a sounding board, to help you formulate or even revise some of the ideas that you have. And a lot of the times when you are on your own, and especially still, kind of starting out, you're not sure. But now you have got then the confidence that you're given from people who have done this 1,000 times before, saying, yes, that's actually a sound, concept. Or how about, you remodel it in this way and that way. And that gives you, an advisory council, if you like, that you would not have if you're starting out on your own. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you talk about the land parcel, again, it's years. Where on my own, big brave mouse, walking into the municipality office, I've got an idea, I've got land, I just need to rezone it. It's that simple.
Yes.
How hard can it be? 5 years later. Any rezoning done? No. Anyone wants to take my calls? No. Again, who are you again? So through this program we've been on with Calgro M3 as our sponsors, the land surveyors have been really brilliant in teaching us about the basics on like zoning, rezoning, town planning. Who do you need to talk to? What should it look like? How does it work? And it's almost like cutting off all the noise and the sounds that on my own, again, it's like, oh, yeah, man, this thing is impossible. This mountain is impossible to climb. And then suddenly regained hope that no, man, it is possible. It is doable. Yes, I'm a big brave mouse again, and I can do it.
And you can do it.
Yeah, and I'm not a mouse anymore. I'm a lion.
The beautiful thing though that I'm picking up from these challenges that you speak of is that firstly there is that fire, right? That spunk, that says actually I can do it, and you try, of course, get a few beatings and you go back, but you have not given up. So now to that young mouse who is starting out, who has, the same excitement, the same spunk, what advice would you give her in terms of how she needs to, what posture she needs to have for her to become, successful and do things easier than what you did? How should she start out?
Firstly, it's building that credibility. Right. And the credibility is through certification.
Yeah.
We cannot undermine education. My mom is a teacher and she would always say, wabaleka second year, watuga utisha.
Really?
Yes. My mom always used to read people from, okay, here we are dealing with someone who could not accept authority. That's what it was for her. It's like
second
year. No, but so that's a language for like grade 2 back in the days.
Oh yes. I'm trying to get to the age of that young girl who was not gonna submit to authority.
Yeah. So for my mom was like, and the teaching, and even with me right now to any young person is, yes, you've got great ideas, but there's a reason why they are academic processes. Let's not undermine getting certification. And that is why I talk about the learnership. NQF level 2, not complex, but you know how to bricklay properly.
Yeah.
You know how to lay slabs accurately. So it gives you confidence and authority. Who are you? I'm a bricklayer because I've got training in it. Because I have been certified as a builder. And that is why we have NHRPLC. Otherwise, we'll be building houses that are leaning, leaning towers. Mara, it's not a leaning tower. So the first thing for me, again, is securing identity or authority on my seat by ensuring that I do have the right credentials. The credentials, whether it's through certification, and also, as I mentioned, by securing a sponsor, right? And the third thing is protecting your IP.
How?
Well, if you have a sponsor, I think it whole thing just goes back into, and I'm sitting thinking, okay, now, if someone is sitting there alone and they're listening to this and they get a sponsor, well, that's why SAIBPP exists. Be a member of a community of practitioners. Listen to them when they talk.
Yeah.
Because then you will learn from the wisdom. Right? So being a member of these fraternities and institutions
gives you a voice and a backing.
It gives you a voice protection. And protection that I'm talking about, right? So that you don't have to be alone in a big world.
Yeah.
So for me, that would be the first. It would be the first thing from terms of credibility.
Yeah.
And protecting my ideas. And had such institutions existed, I would have said, belong in a fraternity of people who are pursuing the same vision and goal, which is SAIBPP.
And when you think about, we spoke about it being Women's Month and all the activities and celebrations and platforms that we have to recognize, to acknowledge, to celebrate. And this stemmed from a group of women who marched for a particular cause. For the 2025 women, what do you think that cause would be?
So for me is number one, it's resilience. Those women, what we can take from them was they refused to continue accepting being second citizens. And they stood up for what they believed was right. Most of them, the reason they could march is because they were exempted from certain rules. Because as a black or a woman, you couldn't just go to in the middle of Pretoria. So it meant that they saw beyond what they had access to.
Yeah.
So as you rise as women, pull others with you, because that's what they did. They could have said, oh no, we are exempted natives, we are white, we have got privileges, we don't need to be fighting this.
Yeah.
So for me, the lesson in that, and what we can reflect on, is that in terms of the privilege that you've had access and breakthroughs to, how many have you brought in the room with? Or are you the gatekeeper? Because then it means we're back at 1956, right? You've become the new gatekeeper, right? So it means also embodying that spirit that celebrates with determination other people winning.
Yeah.
That you don't have to be the one that wins, but you can open the door and allow others to win. You can usher them into that great space.
Yeah.
And for the men, because then they tend to think, okay, so you guys are all focusing on women, so that's why we'll beat you up when you get home. Because you want to swap pants. You want to wear the pants now. No, it's gender inclusion, right? Because when we work together in tilling the land, you do your part, I do my part. And the children we raise, the children of Africa,
they win.
They win. It's not a competition. We complement each other, right? You, the man, you cut the trees, you make a path, and you catch whatever it is that you catch. I skin it, I cook it, and the children win. So it needs to be something that is not exclusive to women only, but we work together. We celebrate our achievement. We acknowledge individual success stories. We recognize that every woman who breaks ground creates space for others to follow. And we celebrate the transformation of from who are you to saying, we need your vision here. We need you. You make us complete. You don't threaten us, right? And in terms of for women who are upcoming, when they look up to the seniors, don't despise them. Because there's that thing as well that I've been noticing, that with the younger generation, you look at the senior people And there's that resentment as though they are owing the younger people. Yes, there's no owing, but don't resent the older who have succeeded. But ask yourself on how you can submit and
Learn.
take lessons from them.
Yes.
Right? Because you can't be 25 and want to have 55 years experience. How? You don't know what they've gone through. So as women as well, the respect from the younger generation.
Yeah.
Shortcuts are not going to get you far. Carpet promotions will only end up with bruises. Right? So submit to the older women. Sit down at their feet. Learn what it is that they have so that you do not have to take the same stripes. And the older women, be that sponsor when the young woman is not in the room, that you promote them. Don't feel like because I'm now the old lioness and I have no teeth, the young women are going to eat me out. If you create a safe space for them psychologically to continue to promote you, they'll never forget you. They will carry you right up until the end. They will always refer to you as the one that made a path where there was no way.
My goodness. So what future do you envision for women property developers, or at least one that you would like to see?
For me, a future where I think we stand side by side with our fellow men.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was created in the
beginning. And
it's
no longer even about men or women.
Yes.
It's just developers.
It's all developers.
Yeah.
Right? Let's stand shoulder to shoulder. Let us firstly respect each other.
Yeah.
Because when we don't respect each other as humans, that's where the animals in us come out. And then I feel bad to say animals because my animals at home, which are dogs, they really know how to respect. So when we say animals, okay, then maybe it's not so good. But you know what I mean? The wild side of us.
Yeah.
It all starts with respect, acknowledging each other as we can create win-win environments.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a win-lose, right? Where the winner takes it all. So for me, what I do envisage is whereby we create a society, honestly, all the men and the women who have succeeded, especially those who've come up through the ranks of SAIBPP. If you've gone to Zapowa, come back. Come back. Come back. Come back, right? And pick the rest of us up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It doesn't take away your authority, your power, your position to give back.
To your own.
To your own. But it's a multiplier phenomena where you multiply yourself. They say that leaders don't create more followers. They multiply themselves to more leaders.
Absolutely.
So if SAIBPP, through the thousands of those that they've created, can multiply themselves, can you imagine the impact and the transformation that we can significantly have here in South Africa? Because one person said, I'm going to multiply myself into 100-fold. And if there's 100 of them, multiply that by 100.
I can tell you, I think for me, that probably is the best definition that I have of what a leader is. Someone who can recreate themselves, or actually create someone who is even better than me. Because the job of a leader is to create a leader. Create your replacement. Hundreds of them. Because then that's the only way that you continue to exist.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Your legacy lives on, through the people that we have empowered as leaders.
In fact, when you talk about legacy is long-term. Whereas right now, people are building empires. Where is the Roman Empire? Long dead.
Sure.
Right? But when you talk of legacy, generations later, people still remember Ushaga, remake it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is no empire that you can physically touch and say Ushaga or Mshweshwe built.
Yeah.
But their legacy lives on with pride amongst their people. They can't tangibly say, here is his empire that he physically built.
Sure.
But he imparted that identity when you look at the Abapedi, Abatswana, Bakwena, all of them, when they stand and when we all stand as Africans and we think of the legacy of the leaders that form those different tribes, it's not because there's a particular building we can go and point, which is then their physical empire, but they built legacies. They were selfless in their giving. And I think we can learn lessons from those guys, that when you look from a legacy perspective, you are less inclined to be inward thinking and inward focus, that it's me, myself, and I, me, building. And when you are gone, okay, because you're not, right? But when you are giving outward, you are imparting, you are multiplying yourself. So that multiplier effect, that legacy focus, even when you are long gone, generations later, people will still remember your name.
Oh my goodness. The person that you empowered speaks of you, and they empower the next person, and they tell them where they got it from.
Of the person that they didn't even see.
And, getting goosebumps. Okay, so the last question we got from the guest that we hosted the last segment that we had. And it goes, how do you navigate situations where miscommunication results in misinformed decisions? How do you navigate situations where miscommunication births misinformed decisions?
I go back to, I guess, my teachings as a young child. I'll say it in Zulu and then translate it in English. So it's miscommunication that leads to misinformation in decisions. NgesiZulu kuthiwa okoniwe ngomlomo kulungiswa ngomlomo, right? And as a coach, right, all actions come from the thinking and the perceptions and the meaning we give to things, right? So a thought comes into my mind, I get a desire, and then I make a decision. Now, being a response-able individual, response-able, I make a choice to build, which is move upward. Or if I'm not response-able, I become a victim and spiral downward. And anytime people are not response-able, they most often than not, use violence and force to get their way through. So misinformation that leads to a decision, it's still a choice. You get the information. The decision you make is entirely up to you as an individual. Whether are you going to be a victim or are you going to be response-able and choose how you dissect that information and what you are going to do about it. And when you discover that, okay, I was misinformed, how do I backtrack without losing my sense of being, with still being a person of integrity, right? And choosing that I own what I create, and then make whatever decisions. So in any way, it's about being a response-able person. Are you response-able or are you a victim? Because then if you're a victim, well, you'll only spiral downward and eventually you'll have to use force to get your way through. But if you are response-able, you can navigate any environment, whether it was through misinformation or not. You can choose what you create with the thinking and the way you have processed that information. And whatever stand you take, you stand by it with integrity.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. This was amazing. I enjoyed this conversation and I hope that you did as well. But I think more importantly, I hope that you have taken lessons from this interaction that you can always go back to and help to build yourself up in whatever journey you are in life. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to SAIBPP once again, especially for the Women's Development Program. We are learning a lot, and I look forward to my completed project.
Yes, we are excited about that. We really look forward to those success stories, and we believe that there's going to be plenty